Fellas, say goodbye to Chuck Sherman the boy. I am now a man. I highly recommend you join the club. We are doing the wild thing all night.
Acid house music.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sherm.
Sherman, I could all this food. Is that all you gonna eat?
General Sherman realized and understood the importance of house music.
So, do you know anything about techno?
No.
Listen.
You know.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another brand new episode of Sherm in the Booth. I'm, of course, your host, Sherm. Today is Thursday, March 6th, 2020. This is episode 101. Wow, it is so weird to say that out loud, but I want to say real quick, guys, thank you so much for all the positive feedback on episode 100. If you hadn't gotten the chance to watch it or listen to it yet, I would definitely highly recommend you do so. It was so much fun to finally be able to share my story door to door and answer all your guys' questions. But it's time to get back on the horse. This is episode 101 featuring the one and only Adam Frek. I'm such a big fan of this guy. He's an awesome dude, a great DJ, and is extremely hardworking. He's got an incredible live resume, playing at all the biggest clubs in Chicago and festivals like Electric Forest and also the Groove Cruise. He is so involved in a lot of things behind the scenes as well and helps put on a lot of great events. If you guys have heard of Hush concerts before, you're going to want to listen in closely because they're doing things just a little bit differently than the rest of silent discos. I want to say thank you so much to Adam for making time. I've looked up to this guy for a while now, and it's so cool to be able to sit down with someone who is such a great tastemaker in the scene. So without further ado, guys, let's get into it. This is episode 101 with Adam Frek. All right, Adam Frek, give me some cheers, man.
Cheers, brother.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here, man.
Look at these coasters.
You like that, dude?
Yes.
You know what? And as we're talking about Indiana, take a look at your glass because it says home.
I did see that, and I did see that it's not my home.
Is that okay? That we're using
It's partly home.
That's true. Well, shout out to your wife, right?
Yeah.
Go
shout
Hoosiers.
out to the wife. Yeah. Go Hoosiers. She would say.
Dude, this is episode 101.
I know, and the other day it occurred to me when we were trying to map out.
Yeah.
I was like, could I have been 100? And I was kind of disappointed.
That's okay.
And then I was like, well.
Yeah. I was toying around with what to do with it for a while. And
Yeah.
I was like, do I get a big guest? Like, do I do like a live Sherm in the Booth? And I was like, you know what? So many people have asked me, like, we want to know if you were on the other side. So I interviewed myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean,
It was great. It was really, really fun.
Yeah.
Bit exhausting because picture no one there and I'm sitting here and I'm trying to like have a conversation with myself. So
did you get an argument? I mean, did you give yourself a hard? Was it tough? Was it a tough interview?
It wasn't a tough interview.
Did you dig deep?
I dig deep. Yeah.
Get some tears going?
I did get a little emotional at a few points. Like I think because I've done this so many times that I almost like in the back of my head heard someone responding to me. You know, and I was like,
yeah.
Oh man, I'm getting a little emotional talking about this right now. But it's been quite the journey, man. But there's no one else I'd rather have on for episode 101.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You've been on the list for a long time, so I'm so glad we're finally sitting down. I got a lot of respect for what you do. I think I saw you DJ for the first time in Chicago. I don't remember where it was. I know you do a lot of stuff with rituals.
Yeah.
And I think it was maybe a year and a half ago, or I don't know. When was your first event with rituals that you did?
My first event with rituals was September 2017.
Okay. So it was probably like sometime after that.
Yeah.
Because when I started to get into more of the house and techno here, I obviously like rituals like bursted up in the scene.
Yeah.
And I just started paying attention to like the lineups a lot more and everybody that was kind of doing it. Obviously Rami and everybody else that's kind of pulling the strings to make things happen.
Yeah, I would say right off the bat when I started coming around, loitering at clubs and stuff.
Loitering.
But I was starting to get more serious into DJing.
Yeah.
And that was the vibe that the group that I wanted to be playing music for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Not just the promoter side, but also the people who are going to be attending.
Yeah.
Really smart about music, but really positive and it just seemed like a good fit.
It's a welcoming environment.
Yeah, for sure.
They just did a huge event. I unfortunately couldn't make it on time, but at the Garfield Park Conservatory, that looked awesome. Did you go?
No, I didn't.
Well, they're doing big things though. Is my point here. And
huge ones. Huge.
It's not just like some loft upstairs that starts at 3 a.m. anymore. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, and it's funny because everybody starts somewhere with a loft at 3 a.m. with no air conditioning. Like, I'm sure you know Kelly Hummingbird.
Yeah.
She told these great stories about the air conditioning going out right before the party started, and this happening, and it's just like so much fun to talk about everything that goes on behind the scenes with that shit. And it's interesting you said like loitering at the clubs, right? Like, how else do you get into the scene? You gotta like be there.
Yeah, you have to go up, you have to show up. It does help if you have a few parts of a crew.
Sure, of course.
But it really doesn't take long before you know everyone. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not necessarily in a, hey, I'm here, who are you?
Yeah.
You know, not in a, just be present.
Yeah.
You're going to fall in line with the vibe, I think, and the appreciation of music.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a good friend, Eric Johnson, Tsunami.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was I must have, you know what I'm thinking about? I think I went to Originals event with him. I don't know if we had met, but I was with him when you were playing.
Okay.
And I was like, who is this guy? He's fucking crushing it. And he was like, it's Adam Frek. And I was like, okay, I haven't heard of this guy before, but started following you since then. And it's been incredible to see you go on this journey, man. Like,
thanks, man.
All these great gigs, like Electric Forest. Like, I can't wait to hear about Hush and, I mean, Groove Cruise, right? Like, you're not just some guy who came into the scene, right? I know you're the first person to say, and I've heard you say this when we've talked before, I came in late, right? And that's very humble of you, but I do just want to commend you and acknowledge you that you aren't here for no reason. Like, you're a great DJ, you work hard.
Thank you.
So it's not just some bullshit, right?
Thanks, yeah.
So shout out to you, man. But, like, when did you actually, since you are getting late into the game, did you, like, originally love electronic music, like, a long time ago?
No.
When did it actually come into your life, music in general?
I was in a band in college, really.
Michigan State?
Yeah, Michigan
What was
State.
the name of the band?
Oh, jeez.
You know I'm going to ask.
I did not think of that, and I should have.
I told you there'd be some things in between.
These guys, they were all musicians, and they heard me sing at a karaoke, and they were like, and then we were 18, and they're like, well, he can sing like rock music.
Yeah.
And so these guys brought me in, and it was fun, you know, writing music and stuff.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I had not much creative decision, and I'd get scenarios like, hey, we wrote this song. Can you put some lyrics together for it? But can you sing it like? Yeah. Like, can you have the verses sing like Scott Stapp or Scott Stapp? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. He was just that radius. Or
crazy.
Or like we did a battle of the bands. They wanted me to sing this obscure Tool song.
Deep cut.
Yeah, I mean, I probably destroyed different parts of my vocal cords that I didn't even realize. But that got me into realizing how much I love music and trying to be creative with it. Yeah. Went through the steps of recording an album that has since disappeared, I'm certain of. But it was terrible. But that was it was interesting. Yeah. Because even the practice, even the just trying to think about how do I put words to this melody, or this beat, or whatever. I just thought it was fun, man.
Of course.
I didn't really have any goals. I was in this band, and they all had goals, and I was like, I don't care. I'm cool just coming here like once a week and jamming. Yeah. And then time went. That we broke up obviously right away in college. I think we all got an apartment together, and that did not end well.
Yeah, of course.
That lingered on with some like indie rock times for years on my own, just listening. And then I would say at some point, let's say 8 years ago, I started listening to a lot more of LCD Sound System. Nice. I could name probably several others if my brain wasn't too deep on the M rails. It's all right. No, but that was kind of a segue into opening me up to more electronic music, and I think pop was moving that way also. Yeah. Totally. And then fast forward a couple of years, and still, I to this day I still love LCD Sound System.
Dance Yourself Clean, Baby, one of my top 10 favorite songs of all time.
For sure. And then Disclosure also was around the time, and that kind of helped me slide into, when I didn't even understand it, house music.
Yeah.
But this involved me going to an electric forest when I had absolutely no idea. I knew my friend Zonic was going to be DJing there.
Nice. Shout out to Jeff, man. Hell yeah.
Literally, probably one of 3 artists I knew that were there.
No way.
That's how fresh.
And he was a little name back then.
Yep.
Yeah.
But to me, this guy is, my gosh, he's DJing in front of these crowds. That's crazy, And then about 6 months after that, I went to my first Groove Cruise. And
wow. That's
when I was like, oh, this is my music that, house and techno. Mm-hmm. But specifically the vibe of that, like after hours house that they do with Incorrect, with Anthony's after hours on the boat. I was like, this is my music that I've been missing my entire life.
Wow.
So it wasn't like, oh, I slowly got into it. It was like I discovered gold.
Yeah.
Mentally, because I was like, I can't believe I've gotten through life without this music.
Yeah.
And I don't venture out of that lane because I'm so mentally engaged in it. That I can't really find myself going like, you know what, let's listen to some old rock albums that I used to listen to. And it's not that I don't like them. But I just would rather be so much more interested, and having my mind activated with like, what is the psychology of just a track or a set? Those I'm constantly thinking in those terms.
You really walked across the coals, didn't you?
Man, it changed everything.
I mean, to go to a festival and not know a lot of the people, right? Like, tell us about like the sensory experience for you, like going to Electric Forest. I mean, was it Rothbury back then too, or
no? It was Electric Forest.
Do you know when it changed to Electric Forest?
I think it was 14 years ago.
Okay, a while ago. Okay.
Somebody might call that out if I'm wrong, which obviously.
Fuck you. It's okay. We don't know.
I'm describing how ignorant I am of the subject. So.
It's okay. We're in this together, man. It's me and you here.
So, a couple months after, I had that moving experience with, finding this music that I couldn't believe I had gone for so long without.
Yeah.
I threw a party for my wife. I had a DJ. He was playing all night, but I was also kind of like right there with him. And this is when I started, like, I think I'd been secretly wanting to DJ for a few years and hadn't really broken the seal of like asking someone,
because you were like watching the DJs.
So I was always watching, right?
Same.
Like I want to understand what this is.
Yes.
Because then I could appreciate it more.
Yeah.
But once I got this, he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to bed." And I'm like, "Well, we got 100 people here still," and he's like, "Well, you know enough." So I just struggled through on this rinky-dink controller, trying to like beat match, which was terrible. I was doing these like I was just like, oh, I'll just pick a new song, and I'd like volume it down, and volume it back up. But my boy Augie De La Rosa was there, and the conversation we had for probably 3 or 4 hours is one of the most important music conversations I've ever had.
Shout out Augie.
He said, we walked. He gave me so much music theory, and by the end of that, he said, Adam, in a year you'll be playing parties that I'll be playing at, I guarantee you. And I think.
Do you believe him?
Well, I didn't necessarily, but 2 months later I played an after party that somebody connected me with. There was 200 people there.
Nice.
That one led to somebody asking me to play this next party out in California, and
was that the Palm Springs one?
Yeah. So like each
I saw
of these
a video of that. That looks awesome.
So each of these little steps that I like was falling into, I just tried to make sure, because I love the music, so I'm already being more serious than probably I need to be about the music.
Right.
But I've always taken that same attitude from my last set on Groove Cruise to my very first gig in front of anyone. Because I don't want to screw up the music, because like I highly respect the amount of time that they put into it. Who am I to disrupt that or change it? Or, be a bad presenter of it.
Absolutely. So
I always try to be as serious as I can, and without showing how nerdy and uncomfortable that possibly looks.
Of course, man. So like, when did you actually like buy your first controller? Like, When did you feel like, okay, I'm starting to take this seriously?
Let's see. That morning at about 10 a.m., I said to my wife, I said, hey, this is the most fun I've ever had. I'm going to get a controller.
That's awesome.
And I think 2 weeks later, I got one.
Yeah.
And then about 2 weeks after that, I sent Augie my first 30-minute mix, and I said,
nice.
Give me your, like...
Yeah.
And he was like, what the hell are you doing making mixes already, man?
That's awesome.
And he goes, I think you're playing it too fast.
Yeah.
And it was like 126.
Yeah.
And I was like, you
were
hear that?
excited. That was
like,
your heartbeat.
I was like, you hear that? He goes, oh, no, he goes, because I go, it's still too fast. I go, really? He goes, yeah, what is it, 126? And I go, yeah.
Yeah.
And he gave me some advice, and between him and another guy you probably aren't familiar with, Ryan Foskett. If you saw a video from that Palm Springs, he was. Yeah. I've DJed with him a few times. DJed with him in Brooklyn for an opening for Saeed Yunan.
Damn.
So I learned those two people. I learned the most music theory from those two. I'd say outside of anyone, especially Ryan, because he's really obnoxious with how good his ear is. And like, you can't when you start playing back-to-backs with someone, when you start just getting going, that's a great learning experience always.
Yeah.
Pretty much no matter what, even if you're playing with someone who sucks.
Yeah. You're
seeing stuff and you're like, oh, I've connected with, I don't want to do that. And, but he's so precise with his with the beat being on that, like, if I'm not, ready, there's no way I can play back to back with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that has been a really good reinforcement. Just another one of the many people I can't even imagine how much thanks I have for them.
Yeah.
They did so much for me.
Well, I'm sure that means a lot to them. It's so important to be a visual learner as a DJ, like more than just like watching YouTube, right? Like I remember I started on virtual DJing, and that was just fading in and out volumes. And then when I finally got my hands on like a controller and I had someone show me the ins and outs, and like you said, watch people make mistakes, watch yourself make mistakes, see what works, see what doesn't. Yeah. Because the evolution of a DJ, I'm sure even at the top of the game, right? Like we mentioned Hot Since 82 before we got on air. I bet you that guy is still trying to challenge himself every single time and trying to learn.
That's I think that's the only reason why they're where they are.
Yeah. Go outside their comfort zone.
And I don't think I've ever met a DJ who, after their set, almost always is like, man, that's. Well, yeah. Thanks, man. It was decent, I guess.
Right.
Those two fucking mixes. No, it was a really good set. Did you see the yeah. Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
But those two, boy, that was really
so in your own head.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. I've some DJs I've met, over the past few years. Once in a while, and these are just guys coming up or men, women. Sorry, that's but generally. The people who are good, I would say, I've never heard one of them say, man, I killed it.
Really?
I've never, ever heard any of the peers who I really look up to say, boy, I fucking killed it.
Damn.
At best, they would say, man, that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, right. That was good. And then you move on. They're not trying to... The set's done with. They're not trying to sell you on what it was.
Right.
Were you there? You experienced it? Okay,
right.
That was fun.
They're humble.
Yeah, and I think that is a huge deal.
Yeah.
Because if you come out of set thinking, I killed it, and you're not thinking about all the mistakes you possibly made, then how are you going to grow from that?
Right.
So it's good to always go, man, I suck.
One more cheers.
Cheers on that one.
Yeah. I've definitely said, man, I suck. You gotta look at yourself in the mirror and learn from your own mistakes. If you're not willing, I mean, it's definitely good to celebrate victories, right? And I'm sure those guys maybe behind closed doors were like, this was good, this was bad, but I'm proud of myself.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the little things, right?
Oh, and I've been proud of myself for sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's what keeps you going. The little wins.
But it's this is kind of one of those weird things of like when you meet people, you don't meet so many people for the first time.
Yeah.
The people, the new ones coming up, don't give that vibe off. Like,
yeah, of course.
Like, humble will get you places. talking up that you're a star is not going to...
No.
But chances are they're probably already outside the path of underground house music. As it is.
Good point.
But yeah, humility is with every little step of success. I guess I had, more so in the past few months with this past Groove Cruise.
Yeah.
People I care about remind me, like, I'm so, they mentioned they're proud of me or happy, but they remind me, you better know your place and don't get cocky and don't be a jerk.
Yep.
So
absolutely,
it's good to have people around you who are always ready to remind you that you're an a-hole,
dude.
Like I said, it's bottom line.
Yeah.
If you end your sets thinking that you suck, then you're only gonna get better.
So no matter what, think you suck. I understand that, though. I do appreciate that. I mean, that's just like surrounding yourself with good people, right? Like, they're motivated by you, and I think I just saw something today. I don't remember what it was. It was just like, push your friends to do better, then support them when they are struggling.
Yeah.
So it really is that, man. But who are your biggest influences, whether it be like a DJ or a close personal friend that you've had? You've mentioned some mentors already.
Well, my one friend, probably Ryan Foskett, or his DJ name Ryan Patrick.
Yeah.
Some of the best times playing music with him. I remember having a conversation with Rami about 3 or 4 years ago, and telling him like how enthusiastic and into his music it was. That inspired me to want to sweat a lot.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
No, but he's so into his music though.
Yeah.
That I want to require, at least 2 big fans on me.
Right.
When I play, because that dude looks like he's having the best time of his life when he's
right
out there.
Right. That he does.
He does. So that was one of those first moments where I was like, okay, this is something that I kind of, I don't know where I got lost on that.
Inspiration.
I got lost in the fans.
Yeah, dude. All the fans. Rami he's come up on the podcast time after time again.
Yeah.
But what about like some bigger names? I mean, I know you were friends with Gene Ferris, right?
Yeah, Gene. Funny thing, Gene and I had only met a couple, 3 times.
Sure.
And as like, oh hey, good to see you. Nice to
Yeah.
But this was really fortunate. Our wives, I think, magically became best friends instantly on the Groove Cruise, and that just set our vibe that like him and I get along all day long.
It's like what we talked about earlier, right? You're connecting on something other than music.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what friendships are built on. Like this music can be a common introduction, but if you can't find that human connection,
yep.
Yeah, so obviously he inspires me.
Huge Chicago icon, of course.
Giant. I would say musically, people that DJs, producers who I think they cover a wide spectrum in their sets, in their productions, and it's difficult to pigeonhole them. But like everyone they know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
For example, I would say Nick Fanciulli has a wide range of sets. Some people might say like, well, he might. Well, what some people say is what some people say.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know exactly what I'm expecting when I go to see him play.
Yeah.
I know that I'm gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
And I know I'm gonna hear great music of all over the place.
Yep.
That is the type of thing I have wanted to go for. Like, I don't want to be, I have to play this
one trick pony.
This 3 different variations of the same tech house or something like that.
Right.
But that's easy to say because I haven't had hits. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what the pressure will be like if I'm able to get some stuff that's good out there.
What's the expectation if you are Nick Fanciulli? Right.
Yeah.
I understand that.
But yeah, I don't want to have to do something just because it's like, well, you have to do this again.
Of course.
I think every artist probably wants to do that. And hopefully someday I can feel comfortable saying that I'm an artist without like feeling awkward or maybe.
I like that. Absolutely, man. And dude, and I think Nick Fanciulli is an awesome person to look up to. Saved, like you mentioned before we got on air.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know that's his label, but
it's
without a doubt, it is one of my favorite tech house labels.
Yeah.
I mean, they do a variety on there too. And I watch a lot of his live sets because I really like his style because he does do a lot of different things. And I always try and watch like his pace that he sets as well. I think he's really, really good at that too for an extended mix type DJ.
Right.
But he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's the best. And a lot of people like going back to back with him too, which is really cool.
That's not surprising. There's certain people because they can cover so much ground.
Exactly.
He has great music all over the place. Mm-hmm. I've heard him play like a melodic techno set that was awesome. You know? And I'm not really I go through phases and I'm not really in that zone right now. But I hopefully at some point I can feel confident that I can drop down a melodic techno, techno set if I want to. Yeah. Absolutely. I just want to have some range of I want to be able to play the music that is the range of the stuff that I'm really interested in.
Right, of course.
So that's it's tough to keep motivated and keep that part.
Yeah. Always keeps you pushing yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you play a lot of different events, right? Like Afterlife, Rituals, Paradigm.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, why do you think that these guys are kind of the tastemakers in the scene, and what makes them unique, and why do you fit into these different buckets as well?
I think, I would say first of all, be professional. Mm-hmm. And then let's say with Paradigm, I've had a couple of opportunities, and I tried to be really professional about it.
Yeah, of course. Day one this year?
I tried to take it seriously.
It's awesome. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. How was that?
Day one?
Yeah.
Man, that was a crazy vibe all day long.
Yeah.
I'm failing to remember the name. The room upstairs, the red...
Number 9.
Dude, when I got there at 11 or noon, she was having such a cool techno set in that room, and the lights were so perfect.
The lights are dope in there.
Oh my gosh, that room, it made me want, man, I can't wait to play that room at some point in my career, hopefully, because that vibe up there was so cool.
Yep.
And I played the main room, which when it finally got going, was great.
Yeah, of course.
And that was an experience of, sitting there.
I heard it was dope.
Yeah. But that was a cool vibe all day long. The people were all on the same page.
Yeah.
And having that in Chicago made me really happy. Yeah. Because that's the sort of thing where, let's say you'll be experiencing soon a space.
Yeah.
That's a great example of hours and hours of people just being on the same vibe. Mm-hmm. Everyone has all different levels and versions of how messed up they kind of are, but everyone has the same goal of, we're all really happy. Let's just keep this going. So you get bumped into, it's not like...
Hey, what the fuck?
You get 3 people apologizing for a bump into, and this is, I'm sure everyone has bad stories or something like that.
Yeah, sure,
but
of
man,
course.
all my stories there are, I think it's the neatest societal experiment ever.
Societal experiment.
Because, I mean,
it is.
It's open 24 hours a day.
It's fucking crazy, man. This ain't a quickie mart, it's a club.
I know.
But you're right. All, Afterlife, Rituals, and Paradigm, they all encompass this environment.
So that was a terrible answer I just gave you. So
No, but you honestly did give a good answer.
I get along with, the groups are amongst themselves, but I have common interests with each one of those groups. They're all different entities. Oh, sorry, you said Paradigm, Afterlife, and
Rituals.
Rituals.
Yeah.
And I would also add, Good Luck Chicago. I've had
of course,
opportunities from those guys.
Yeah, I mean, you've done things with a lot of different people.
Shout out to Alex Kisloff and Arv. They gave me the first after hours I could play, which was 2 or 3 years ago. 2 years ago at Electric Forest at the bus.
Nice.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was the semi truck was there for that one.
Oh yeah. They told me that story. That's such a great fucking event.
And watching those guys hustle their butts off for
build the stage.
Oh my gosh, they built it in 36 hours. They had a trail of generators dying on them. It's just the worst luck. And those guys hustling. And I think right after that, I went to several of their events that summer. and I saw what they can do with a little bit. They did the back deck at State.
Yep.
There's one party.
Yep.
It was just a few little key touches, and it was such a cool vibe out there.
Yep.
I was like, that's when I like started taking notice of those guys.
Yeah.
So all of them, all these groups, and all the people that are behind them, you know, the founder or the people running it, I connect with them in that. I think we all love music like a lot, like and they you know, when they have a conversation, they're like, oh yeah, Adam's a nerd, so that's cool. Like, yeah,
music nerd.
Yeah, and so then we're always gonna have, at least we will always know our intentions. You know, like we just want to promote a good time and have everyone have a good time, and provide great music that helps that along.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's the deal with those guys.
Across the board.
Yeah, and I'm just, they're all great guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all great people to work with. And,
Yeah.
It's been good.
All very professional, and I think,
for sure,
like you said, I mean, I really thought you answered the question great, because everybody there, whether you're the DJ, or whether you're the promoter, whether you're the event curator, or whether you're the fan, the person going to enjoy the music, there's a common theme, and that's the love of the music, right?
Right.
I always talk about, like, I think why Spy Bar is such a great place, right? Because it's not like a big open format club, right? Where people expect to hear what they want to expect. They want to go and they want to hear what the DJ wants to play. And I think those collectives all kind of encompass that.
Yeah.
Let the DJ do his thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Right? We're booking you for you.
Yeah. And just don't train wreck it.
Yeah, don't train wreck it. Yeah, absolutely.
No, but, you know, it's difficult for a Spy Bar to exist in other smaller markets because...
Very true.
Like we were talking earlier, in cities like Chicago or big cities in general, you get enough of the weirdos in one place that we can create, you know, a certain number where it's like, oh, okay, now it's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the dynamic that we have here, and when it comes to dance music, because it's not a problem to get the first person on the dance floor in Chicago.
Not a problem.
Now, you know, you go to some other big cities around the country, that might be a tough thing to, you know, you really have to entice them, or, you know, they're not inherently open.
Yeah.
Like you might find other places. So.
Very good point. And I mean, to go off that, right? Like, you've played festivals, you've played clubs, Electric Forest, Groove Cruise. We just mentioned Spy Bar, Celeste, Cerise, Estate, right? Those are a lot of different places. Festival, club. Even within that, you know, rooftop venue, underground venue, right?
Yeah.
How do you kind of think about your sets, and what do you do to prepare for those types of things?
So I think I'm maybe a little bit different. I make a new playlist, and most likely a new folder for every single gig.
I love that.
And then I sort that out. You know, I'll have, like, you know, pretty much everything I'm thinking about that at that time. And then I'll be like, well, you know, I might break it down into different playlists of, you know, is it going to be wanting to get bouncy, or that, you know, for me, I have like cues. When I say bouncy, it doesn't mean like, oh, bouncy.
I know.
For me, I know what it means. That's what I'm the only one who has to know the codes to this system.
That's true.
So, oh, thanks, brother.
Thanks, Tony.
So that allows me, I think, to not be too freaked out about going into several different situations.
Right.
So I did this thing for Groove Cruise. I had several different folders.
Because you played at like 5 a.m. and like another one. Like, what were your set times?
I had 4 sets. I opened the boat as everyone was coming on.
Awesome.
Then I played the Desolate stage that night at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Then it got rained out, so we had to go downstairs and improvise. And I did it back to back with Louis D for like 2 hours from Drums of the Sun.
You couldn't prepare for that.
No, I mean that's definitely not. No. And then we were playing definitely a lot of different music than I was preparing for.
Right.
Opening for the Desolate stage.
Right.
And then the next day at the pool, or that was Saturday at the pool. So that's 3 p.m. I've got Above and Beyond on the beach back somewhere at the pool party.
Right.
And I'm playing at the same time.
Oh,
so,
shit.
You know, I knew it was gonna be a limited audience. That's fine. I don't really ever get too worked up about that.
No.
As long as I have a few people I can look at how they're reacting.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know, I only need a couple to.
Of course.
Or just one, you know, like as long as someone is, because I entertain myself pretty much up there.
I love that though.
but that was a lot of fun. So these are 3, and then I think that night I played at 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. in the casino, well lit room.
That's the set you just released on SoundCloud, right?
Yeah.
Everybody pay attention. This set's live. This is your opportunity to promote.
Yeah, so I one of the sets, my casino set and my pool set from Groove Cruise are up on SoundCloud.
Awesome. I was gonna work out to it tomorrow. Which one do you recommend?
For a workout?
Yeah.
Are you working out at the gym?
Yeah.
The casino set.
Okay.
If you're going for a run on the lake or something like that,
Yeah.
I think you could get by with the pool set.
Okay, I like that.
That's
Catch flow.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so I really individualize each little time and place. That's how I can feel comfortable. Like I'm gonna play the right music at this right time because I've done the work beforehand. I don't not just I'm improvising.
But you're prepared.
I never do a set, but let's say for a 1 hour set, for example, when I do house sessions at Celeste, and I played back to back with Eric Johnson for Tsunami. I will maybe prepare 100 tracks.
Yeah.
And there's all different avenues I can go with that. But that 100 tracks is not going to be the same as 2 months before my 100 tracks at Celeste for my back-to-back with Eric.
Right.
Every time I try to make it different. If I was playing a lot more, if I was touring or something like that, obviously that would not be feasible.
Right. You're compiling these
it's getting
situations you've been in, right?
Yeah, and that's my context. I don't. This is probably bad. I don't do tags. I don't do tags. I just remember the context of
you know your music.
So and I have to keep several folders, always ready to go. But I'll be like, oh yeah, that when I was at that pool, this is perfect for this moment right now.
Yes, I totally vibe with you on that.
So I can't necessarily pick out. I can't go, I'm going to browse and search the artist, but I'm pretty sure the track I'm trying to remember, which was, I don't know, let's say pretty underground, not many people heard it. An artist I don't have much of.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I'll go back and find it, and then, thank God, I got it right here, perfect.
Yeah, of course.
And then I'll look up, and let's say there's nobody really responding to how difficult I thought this was. Well, at least I worked hard trying to find it. I noticed.
Yeah, of course. I totally feel with you on that because, I've had music that I've gotten, right? And I was like, I'm going to play for this set. You don't play because it wasn't the vibe, right? Fucking a year or 2 years later, you come back, you're like, it comes up randomly, or you're like, oh, this is the moment.
Yeah.
And it's so special as an individual, especially as a DJ, right? To share your love of a song. We all started DJing by ourselves in our room, right? When you said to your wife, I'm buying a controller, right? How exciting was that first mix you put together, right?
I think I was already being too serious about it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean serious
that,
serious I want to be this of a DJ. No, I was just
this needs to be
I think right away I was hearing mistakes. I mean, all right, that was kind of neat.
That's good. That's very good.
But so that back then that was programming mistakes.
Sure.
It was my first mix. I think I shoved Shiva soundtrack in there, and it was my buddy Ryan was like, "Yeah, that's not bad for your first one. You kind of shoved one of those in there." And I was like, and I told him, I go, "This one," and he goes, "Yeah, that was it."
Yeah. You got a little selfish.
Yeah. So. But then you start growing your library, and then I don't ever have the feeling I have to force a track in there.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe when I've kind of promised someone that I was going to play one of their productions.
Yeah.
But I don't feel bad about it. I feel happy that I'm helping to build up one of my friends or put out what they've put their heart into, and I'm presenting it now for them.
Oh, of course. That's the best.
Yeah, so I don't really have that same forced feeling. But as your library expands, you start to go I want to have this kind of impact, or I want to have this kind of reaction.
Yep. And
before, let's say when I was starting out, I might say, well, there's only 2 or 3 tracks I think I can find.
Yeah.
Now I go, well, I know a ton. I'm going to grab something that nobody's ever heard. It's going to have the reaction that I want.
Right, of course.
But it's just as your library grows, man.
You build up this playlist and you go back to certain moments that you like. It's interesting. I feel like you're putting yourself in your own shoes, almost in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. You're like, all right, Adam, you're gonna be playing at the same time as Above and Beyond here, right? Maybe you somehow, in one way or another, get back to that in the middle of Electric Forest, and you're like, this is the time. Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Yeah.
I think that's why the longer you DJ, obviously practice makes perfect, right? But the more you challenge yourself and play different types of sets, whether it even is just all house and techno,
right?
We both know, everybody who knows house and techno understands there's lots of layers of that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Right.
So that's a very good point.
And there's you know, the deeper you go, I think you start to not remember those little things that would set you off at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by set you off, I mean like when somebody hears a sound and they go, huh, and it gives them an emotional reaction.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. After my set in the casino on Groove Cruise, somebody came up to me like, wow, that was fun. It's so surprising to see such a nice guy playing angry music.
Are you serious?
And I was like, huh. And I didn't coach, I didn't change their mind.
Yeah.
I got what they meant. Like they heard one little thing and that thing stood out for the rest of the set.
Yep.
And that what they picked up, that applied for the rest of the set.
Yeah.
And I think it was a vocal, because that's usually what people can hear the most of.
Right, of course.
And like my attitude with this track is like the vocal provides this like attitude, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not like a mean, aggressive. It's like
there's a tone. Yeah.
And they hear that and they went like, damn, this guy's angry.
Yeah. This guy's hiding something.
Do you see what I mean? But that's
yeah, absolutely.
That's so impossible for everyone to be able to predict all those different reactions. Mm-hmm. I think the challenge as a DJ is just trying to predict to your best extent the most of the audience that, you know what I mean, that you're accurately predicting the reactions.
I think that's why both people do it. That's why we DJ. That's why people go see people DJ.
Yeah.
And nobody knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which is the most exciting part.
I think this is another random rant.
Hit me.
I think it's very important for DJs to be really empathetic.
Yeah.
Or empathic to an extent.
Yeah.
And insecure.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if you can't tell from so far, after you finish your set, tell yourself that you suck. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. But that insecurity is a driver, you know. Someone asked me once, "Are you a single child?" And I said, "No, I was a stepchild, or step sibling, and I had a sister at 11. Mm-hmm. So I had some. It's like not a stereotypical single child time, but it was a way of during a time where I think that I formulated my way of like getting attention. Mm-hmm. Like I want to get attention.
Yeah.
I want your attention.
Yeah.
I don't want to bother you though.
Right.
And that's like my DJing mentality. Like I really want to show everyone my music. Like this track is, I can't wait to show, but I don't want to bother anyone. I don't want to force them to have to. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think about that stuff all the time.
I do understand that.
Or if you're like at an after party and somebody's like, "Oh yeah, put on your SoundCloud." I'm like, you don't have to do that. Don't find something else. You know, nobody don't want to listen to my music.
I really understand that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Like I want your attention. I want you to have fun. Hopefully you can do it, and it will be my fault, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
I don't want to disrupt your time.
I think that's pretty special. I think that's a really, really genuine way to put it, honestly, Adam. I like that, man.
Thanks, man.
Well, you mentioned the Groove Cruise, right? It's come up a few times.
Yeah.
You went on it a few years ago, right? That was your first time.
Yep.
When did you get involved, like start playing or making connections there? And tell us more about it too.
I think the next year.
2013 was it?
No. This is the 2018. My birthday was on the cruise. We had kind of pooled our funds with a group of friends, and we had like a party suite. I brought my QSC 8 and
you're allowed to do that?
Yeah. And I brought my my DJing 450 2-tracker.
Yeah.
And my Tractor X1.
Nice.
So I didn't have decks, but I could play on my laptop through Tractor and get this. We had a party suite going. That was when I think I started to. That trip was when I went. Actually, I said I'm going to play on Groove Cruise next year. Mm-hmm.
How much fun was that?
It was amazing. Playing on it, that was amazing. I was given one set, and then I got a second set because my buddy of mine from Dallas, Brian Turner, shout out to that guy. He's a DJ. I'll have to connect you with as well.
Yeah.
Anyways, great guy. He goes, hey, in the casino, I just started playing yesterday, and I played for an hour. No one cared. He goes, I say it's 7. Let's go down there.
Yeah.
So we go down there. Let's say it was 8 p.m. We start playing. We play for two hours. The next DJ comes up. It was a laptop DJ. He comes up. His laptop died. He goes, hey, do you guys mind playing for another hour? This isn't going to work. So we play a 3-hour back-to-back. And I've known this guy for like a day.
And you weren't even on like the...
I wasn't. Yeah, we weren't on the billing.
It's amazing, though.
So we took that. I mean, we did it, again, be professional. And
yeah.
It was a great vibe. It was fun in that casino. And I took that and, was able to turn that into full-time,
It's amazing.
Full coverage.
You capitalized.
Yeah. Yeah, give an opportunity, capitalize on it, or just don't screw it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good friend of mine told me that luck, the definition of it is really when opportunity meets preparation.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds like exactly what happened there.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So Groove Cruise, it seems like expanding a lot, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
I just saw you share something, right?
Yeah, we have, it's going on sale tomorrow. They're doing Groove Cruise California.
Awesome. Where does it take it up right now? Miami?
Well, I mean, they've done West Coast for several years.
Oh, okay.
Last year they took a year off the West Coast. They did Groove Island.
Oh, yeah,
Cali
that's
Island.
what I'm seeing, yeah.
That's going to come back in a couple of years, but they're doing Groove Cruise California. And that will be October 13 to 18.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be on one of the biggest ships in the world, if that's a thing. If
they're also fucking big, right?
Do you like go-karts? They have those there, I guess.
Oh, dude, I think I've seen.
I guess I can check that one off. I'm going to drive a go-kart on a ship in the ocean. That's everyone's bucket list, right?
I don't think our grandparents were ever thinking about things like that.
So that's in October, and then the next one out of Miami is in January.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's they've been great. The people I have to that ultimately hire me to play music for people on Groove Cruise, Jason Bukima and Wet Travel, just huge opportunities that they've given me.
Yeah,
and another thing is like you're on a boat with like 2,500 to 3,000 people of people who love this music. They're experiencing this music sometimes for the first time.
Like you.
Like me.
Yeah.
I had people come up to me like, I didn't know that this music existed. And that is, and it's terribly flattering.
Yeah.
But I know what they're starting on. They're going on a journey now.
Right. You're like, you have fun now, kids.
Yeah. It's quite an experience. And then, the reach of having, I think part of my pitch of, trying to get booked,
mm-hmm.
I will actually have a greater reach of an audience during Miami Music Week.
Yeah.
Because of Groove Cruise. Because there's so many people that come back from Music Week down to Miami for
That's awesome.
From that event. And it's a bigger, to be honest, a bigger audience than I might get in Chicago. But those Groove Cruise people are the most loyal people in the world. Like, for example, before in any of the cities, let's say Dallas, Seattle,
mm-hmm.
San Francisco, before an Anthony Atala show,
mm-hmm.
they formulate their own party and they all go out somewhere and meet together and this might be 30 or 40 people who are going out to a dinner before they go see Anthony later on that night at the club.
Really?
I mean, I don't know many other scenarios that you have people that are just like, oh, it's time to have a family dinner.
We're going out to the club tonight.
Yeah,
Anthony Atala's in town.
Anthony's in town. Let's go.
Wow.
It's incredible the support that they give.
Is Incorrect and Anthony on every Groove Cruise then?
I would say that's a staple. I think he's been on since the beginning. I would say should be on everyone. I think pretty much he always is.
Yeah.
But you know how that stuff goes. It's always contracts figuring out beforehand.
Yeah, of course.
But I fully go into a Groove Cruise expecting that Incorrect After Hours is going to be happening. So.
Of course. And you've played on one of their events here, right? It
got canceled.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It was that Labor Day cruise.
Well, you were on the fucking lineup, whatever.
I know. Me and Garrett. Yeah, that was a bummer. That was unfortunate because that the ship was out of code or something like that.
Oh, right. I remember that now, actually.
That was kind of a little mini kerfuffle back then.
That's it, kerfuffle.
Yeah.
Can I steal that word from you?
Well, that's a new one. I might have accidentally said kerfuffle. I'm going to say kerfuffle. Yeah.
I followed.
I'm going to stay with it, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Well, shout out to Anthony Atala because he does a lot of awesome things here in Chicago as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I want to hear about Hush concerts. So I know you were telling me a little bit about your story before, right? You had your own business. When was the timeline for falling into Hush concerts? How did you make the connection? And of course, tell us more about what it is.
The connection. So we were talking about Jeff Rail, Exonic.
Yeah.
He has been connected with Hush for several years through Electric Forest.
Okay.
Playing their silent disco.
Yep.
The second weekend of a couple years ago, when they had the 2 weekends, they needed some staff and a DJ maybe for a set.
Yeah.
And so I went and I worked their after hours in the Good Life area. Did a good job.
Yeah.
Again, just tried to be professional, just be serious.
Yeah, of course.
And they offered me a position of running the Chicago market for them.
Amazing.
Yep. And that led to a little bit more involvement with the company. I do a lot more national sales with them now.
Yeah.
Still trying to develop their company in this market in Chicago. But yeah, that was a huge opportunity.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Silent discos have really become a thing in the past 5 to 7 years, I would say.
Right. There's so many.
A lot of people still haven't done a silent disco.
I
right?
know it, and there's so much creative use with it that it's like, oh, I've got all these ideas, but actually getting them out there is that's another thing. Or getting people to understand. You have to have people that are like, okay, I'm in.
Yes. Yep.
So that is kind of a challenge, but I think where it really grew out of San Francisco and then it really started to grow out of LA. They do these big ones on the pier in Santa Monica.
Oh, that's awesome.
Silent discos. I mean, really cool creative stuff where it's like they're doing let's see, I think they did a Daft Punk versus.
Oh.
There was one where they did Prince versus Talking Heads versus.
Yeah.
There's a lot of creative things, and it's outside of our.
Not just a silent disco, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's a theme to it.
Right. There's a lot of creative uses with it, but again, it's getting people used to the idea of having headphones on, and and you're really listening to music when you're doing that. You can't really chit chat with a bunch of people, and I think that's one of the challenges I've seen in Chicago. But it's just one of the repetition, and people start to understand. Yeah. Another thing I would really like to see, the big festivals use the silent disco as like I don't know if this is the right term, but like a minor leagues of the DJ producer world.
Absolutely.
I kind of wish we had that going to keep cultivating the next generation of DJs at these big events, because I know that they're going to hustle their butts off getting their crew out to see their first event. So that's something hopefully this next year I can find ways to partner up with some more folks in town that it's kind of an untapped creative nugget there that we can use.
Adam, I couldn't agree more.
And to keep developing this scene. These people. This wouldn't work if there weren't people that didn't think they could have an impact on this little community that we have. Yep. That makes them vested. That makes them part of it. And then if you give them that shot to put on, do a little bit of silent disco DJing.
It's a very unique experience from both perspectives, right? Yeah. Actually, the first festival gig I had, and it was funny you said minor leagues, right? It was North Coast 2018. It was my first festival gig. It was silent disco, right? And fucking, Steve Gerrard and Bentley Dean. You heard of these guys before. I'm about to go on a silent disco, and it's North Coast, right? So the other stage is right there, and they're just pumping techno, and I'm like, all right, here we go, And I was so fucking nervous, but I was like, no, this is it, because as far as they told me, I was the only person who brought my own microphone. I brought a microphone so I could connect with the crowd, so I could get them to come on my headphones. And I like to listen to the set sometimes because you can hear in my voice, like, I'm like, put your hands up if you got blue headphones on. And then all these people did, I'm like, holy fuck. And like click off and then back into it. And then I did it recently last summer at the Taco and Tequila Fest that Jeff actually was playing at too. And did a similar thing and brought my own microphone. I was like, honestly, this is fucking awesome because I like to think, there's no chit chat, but also there's nowhere to go, right? Like you're there with me. It's almost like a podcast, stand-up comedy music show. And you can really vibe with them, and it's so much fun to really have the connection. If like, I think how you actually be a read the room DJ is you find people, you pick pockets, right? And you mentioned this in one way or another earlier. You find one person who's like digging this, and you find one person who's digging this, and then you try and meet them in the middle, and they get their groups going. Because you can't bring the energy to everybody.
Especially early in a set.
Just try
to pick off one person.
Exactly.
Because they're...
Yeah.
Like when I know a friend is in the audience, and I know that there's certain... Let's say, I know they're going to react to this. Like, that's going to help get those 5 people around them start tapping their foot at least more, and then it just spreads out from that,
I love that.
Yeah.
And you can even just say to someone you don't know, like, hey, I love that. I love your Bears jersey right there or something. Like, who else is a Bears fan out there? Yeah. And that's what I'm like, is this a pep rally? And then people really get into it.
I would never MC ever.
Oh, well, I guess I'm hosting the podcast here, yeah.
But Zonic, first advice he gave me before my first silent disco was like, I know you don't want to, but get on the mic.
Yep.
You've got to let them know, like, hey, this is my channel.
Yep.
And once they go, oh, what's that guy saying?
Yep.
That's their switch over.
Yep.
And then if you're playing decent music, they're going to stay. So my first one at Electric Force a couple years ago, I had an unbelievable experience. I was out of body experience. I was playing bangers, just like crazy stuff I could never play in Chicago as an opener, right?
Right.
So I'm just playing bangers and having a great time. I'm like, man, that was awesome. I think I had most of the audience on my color. You know? Like, yeah, that was great. Yeah. Next day, my colleague, DJ Man Cub, Chip. He is playing this old school hip hop set, and he's 30 minutes before when I come in. There was probably 700, 800 people there. 789 of them were on his channel, and I had like maybe 11 on mine. Because he's a very talented DJ. Yeah. No one is going to get off of his channel when he's playing old school hip hop. Everyone's singing. That does so well. And I had to do 2 hours of like, am I bad?
Right.
Am I bad?
Right. But you were just the flip side of the coin of the genre, right?
And then an hour and a half in, I got on the mic and I said, screw it, I'm going to play techno. Yeah. And then I just played hard techno. I played, deep driving techno.
By a beatport?
Yeah, one of the micro genres. And I had people come up to me, and just going with my instinct, I had people afterwards to go, this is the most techno I've heard the whole weekend.
It's awesome.
And that's a crazy, I wouldn't have expected that, but, provide people a little, ear vacation from the same thing they've been listening to, and they're going to take note.
Very good point. Yeah, I think it's definitely been one of the coolest things I've seen from our generation is the silent disco.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, shout out to Hush Concerts.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
You do something you said Taste of Chicago, right?
Yeah, we last year we got to Taste of Chicago. We had a stage there during the day. We're all set to do that again this year, Taste of Chicago.
What's that weekend? We want to do that.
It is July.
It's always like mid-July, right? 12th?
Yeah. This is going to be their 20th year.
Taste of Chicago?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this is a special year for them.
Taste of Chicago is awesome.
Yeah, anyways, mid-July. Yeah. This is awful.
We'll put it out, people. And what else are you doing in Chicago then, too?
So then, we get a lot of our customers are smaller clients, not like a big festival or something like that. Sure. Although we're, Hush Concerts is the most experienced with that, probably in about anyone else is doing silent disco anything.
Were they the first? Who was the first?
Yeah, they were the first ones to bring it to the U.S.
It's awesome.
They've been doing that for like 20, 25 years.
Incredible.
So that, getting involved obviously with a group like that, I'm always learning something.
Yeah.
It's a surprising amount of small little groups because the more people that get to understand it, And also young people want them. A lot of sales we do is just renting the equipment out to people to have like a 40-person birthday party.
Right. Hell, it's a fucking sale.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that's the stuff that keeps the festivals going. You know,
Yeah.
like, it's all needed. And then, you know, Hush Concert is going to be at Coachella.
Really?
Year, yeah.
That's official?
Yes.
That's amazing. Have they done a silent disco at Coachella?
Actually, let's just. I'm not sure if that's.
No, they put it out. They
Okay.
put it out.
Okay,
They put it out.
okay, yeah, okay.
I looked today. They put it out. You're good. You're good.
So I was trying to
It happens on the show.
take it out of my
People
mouth.
get excited.
But yeah,
Well,
that's
the headphones are nice too, right? Like it's not just some like
yeah.
gas. It's like it's a charge you get from the iPhone store or a charge you get from the gas station. I feel like, right?
It's
one's much better quality.
It's a serious headphone.
Yeah.
The ones we have at festivals always provide actually pretty good bass.
Sure. And
It's not
Electric
like-
Forest is it in kind of its own area too? I've heard.
Yeah.
Right?
So the best way to do it is to have like a corralled area.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be concerned with are people accidentally walking off with headphones.
Right.
Because they're in and out. That, you know.
corralled area. Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah, it's a farm.
So at Electric Forest, that's the literal corralled area.
Yeah.
And that's the same way we do the Good Life after hours for the VIP area.
Yeah.
It's a corral area, and plus you have people in who knows what kind of state of mind, but also been listening to music, and it's easy to just
Yeah.
walk off with it.
True.
So that's why we always corral them, and it's just being outside is probably the best place to be for a silent disco. In my opinion, of all.
Absolutely. It's environmental.
That kind of fully encompassing somehow, just like most things, nature makes it better.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. We're outdoorsmen.
Yeah, that's true. Look at these beards.
That's us, outdoorsmen. No, we just want to be cool DJs. Now, going off that a little bit, I mean, in our experience, right, like a lot has changed in the past decade with silent discos and stuff too. Mm-hmm. Whether it be festivals, artists, music genres, clubs, whatever it might be. What do you think has been the biggest thing you've seen change since you've gotten involved? You know, maybe since we were talking about Electric Forest, and what do you expect is to come?
I think creative uses with silent disco is going to continue to expand, but that's just like with anything.
Yeah.
It takes creative minds.
Yep.
There are opportunities to do really neat, really engrossing events. You know, like and again, this is like at Electric Forest, a great example. It's a small area, but there's 1,000 people all zeroed in on music.
Yep.
And that's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Now, if you can take that formula and apply it to different kind of scenes and give that greater context, what kind of music is it? You have this fully engrossed environment, but is that music matching the air, the steam, the light, fully rituals?
Sensory.
So that's where I think I want to creatively go with it.
Awesome.
See what I can do. But yeah, hopefully it'll keep being used more.
What do you think you've seen change?
With silent disco?
No, just in general with the electronic music industry. Festivals and clubs and everything. Maybe Chicago even specifically.
It's hard to say because as I go deeper into it, I change. And it's hard to say how much has changed or how much I've just gotten to know.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say what's changed and what's not.
Yeah.
There's the obvious ones that get coverage of the giant venues, the City Fox in New York.
Yeah.
That those take up a lot of the small club times. When you've got one festival that has 20 of the headliners, well, those are 20 possible shows that aren't going to be happening in that region for the next few months. So that sort of thing is changing the scenery across the globe.
The business has really been tightened.
Just in the past, I mean, in my small time here, I've noticed that.
Yeah, definitely.
But like I said to the rest, as you get deeper in, who knows what has changed because Well,
before we got on air, you mentioned something that was interesting, and that was how whatever we might know, we're obviously a little out of touch with college, but the fact that you even said college kids are listening to house and tech house a lot more now, right?
I mean, that's what I've heard. Obviously, I don't spend much time on college campuses.
Do you think that's because of the Chommies, the Mallas, the Chris Lakes, the Fishers?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that's also due because of social media and like their access to it?
No, I think that vibe aligns more with them as opposed to, let's say, 20 years ago, where every single party would have been hip hop.
Yeah. Yep.
And that is basic enough that you can take those heavy beats from hip hop, and you're still getting that heavy beats, or whatever that kind of those drops, or that that reaction that people kind of need to keep those little college parties going, or whatever it is. Yeah. But that's what the kids are talking about. I have no idea. That's
what the kids are talking about.
That's crazy.
My little brother's a little bit younger than me, and 3 years. And when he was in college, it was crazy for me to kind of see him talk about house music, and I'm going to see this person, I'm going to see this person. I'm like, you're going to see this person? I'm like, damn. He's like, this is what we listen to. I'm like, fuck yeah.
I can't imagine. Like, I can't even imagine going back to like that.
When I went to college, it was the rise of EDM, Avicii, Levels had just come out. TSO had been around, but that really powerful, progressive, Lose My Mind, Alesso, Swedish House Mafia, and that still is around, right? But now we got guys like Chris Lake that he's been around for a long time too, and nobody really seems to know that.
But you're right though, that the bass music and also Dirty Bird's access.
Yeah,
for years, I remember that Spotify channel. I mean, for 10 years, I've known about that Dirty Bird channel on Spotify.
Yeah.
And that's impactful, that just because I wasn't necessarily listening to it that much, but that's a long time on one of the few mediums that deliver music to people.
Yep. Very good point.
So yeah, I think some of that hard work has finally paid off, and
streaming, of course, too. The rise of Spotify and SoundCloud and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I would say maybe the accessibility overall.
Right. Yeah, for
people.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that unknown. You don't have to go to a rave just to hear.
Or you don't have to go to the fucking gramophone record to find a house track, right?
That's true. Just Shazam it. You can get the whole set. That you
and you can get it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. What the hell do you want it on, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But we were talking about Miami Music Week a little bit earlier. You going for the second time this year?
This will be my second one.
Yeah? Hopefully we're all good with all these fucking flights and viruses and shit, but I'm going.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that.
I'll walk there.
It's there's enough things to worry about for surviving my Music Week.
Virus is the least of our concerns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about it, man.
I'm so excited. Yeah. Last year I went, and it was one of the most important events that I've been a part of in my music journey, I guess. Like I came back from that, and I listen to music. I hear music differently after that trip. And I think that was the trip where I got confidence. Like, okay, it's okay that I'm here. Like,
awesome.
Like I might not feel like I belong here, but like it's okay I'm here.
Nobody seems to mind.
Right. And then going to different events, and then you see it was just more access, I guess, to seeing so many different artists. And then in a weird way, you get a moment, or I got a moment of being like, oh, I think I might be all right. I'm all right. I might be good enough to open for one of these blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And so before that, I had never thought that. That was like, I'm just some silly amateur.
So it's welcoming there.
Yeah, but then a week of also going to space at night. that also that changed the way I heard music. I think that's the greatest place ever.
That's amazing.
The vibe that I could be the biggest cheerleader of space. I'm excited for you to hopefully get over there during Music Week.
I'm going Monday to Saturday morning, and we're going to Winter Music Conference every day, and we're going to some of the pool parties, and I'm going to some of the Paradigm events as well. I'm going to Hot Since 82 Friday night. I love Hot Since 82. I brought them up like 3 times.
So you are going to that?
Oh, yeah, the pool party?
The Bull Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I can't go to the Justin Martin one, but I am going to the Hot Since 82 one.
So that's
Are you playing on that?
Yeah, I'm playing on that one.
Oh, well, fuck.
Yeah, there you
front
go.
row, man. I'll be there for you, baby. We'll be there. That's
nice,
awesome.
man. That's
Congratulations.
awesome.
I didn't
Thank
know
you.
they added support to that.
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Oh, well, me, you, and John Curley have to take a shot.
Yeah, I think so.
Hell
I
yeah.
think so. That'll be fun. That'll be a fun one. And then, so that's Friday night, the Knee Deep in Miami Yacht Party.
Huge, dude.
Yeah, that's a vibe right there, man. I'm excited.
Right?
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Start getting that playlist ready. Unless it gets rained out. Oh, you're in the inside, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in the inside. Yeah, so
Oh, everyone's going to get inside. Come on.
no, it'll be a beautiful night. Then the next day, I'm playing the Drums of the Sun party at the Clevelander.
Amazing. Good for you.
Yeah, so that's. I think two sets is that I had that last year, and I feel good about this year.
Yeah.
I'm sure later on, hopefully, I'll be hustling more. But
Yeah.
when
are you getting there?
Two, I get to have a good week. Good
Yeah.
fun week.
Yeah.
Wednesday to Wednesday.
Wow.
Tuesday. Tuesday to Tuesday.
You're going to need 2 days after
I think I'm
Sunday.
gonna need to do some better work on this calendar of mine. That's what I'm gonna have to do.
It's okay. We'll review afterwards, and then we'll get rid of the correct dates and post. How about that?
Yeah, so I get there. I get in Tuesday. I'll be going to the Incorrect Showcase at Treehouse.
Awesome.
No, that's. Yeah, I need
There's
to work
so
on the
many
calendar.
events.
There's so many events.
It's I know.
I can't believe people go to Ultra and.
Dude,
I mean, it's just Music Week is so many events.
it's insane. Non-stop. You
yeah.
could not sleep for a week if it was possible.
Yeah, that's
Easy. You could just stay at Space.
Just stay at Space.
I heard they serve fruit and breakfast there and everything, and they just don't let you leave.
It's a
Well, you don't
whole-
have to leave.
You don't. No, you can just live there. the
I
rest of the
know, no.
It's amazing. It's. I mean, that closing party. I can't. If you can get to it, that's the sight.
Just your
The
genuine
terrace.
reaction right now is amazing.
The terrace with the sun up already. Everyone is at the perfect equilibrium of just so happy to be dancing. It's
Yeah.
just- oh,
God.
it's perfect.
Well, I'm excited to party with you there,
yeah,
man.
for sure, man. This
We'll
will be a great
definitely
time.
connect. I'm excited.
Me too.
I wanna ask you.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're a great example of someone who's really earned their stripes in the scene in a short period of time.
Thanks.
There's a lot of people who watch the show that want to know how to follow a similar path like yours. What do you think's been your secret to that?
Besides luck, as we talked about, always be professional.
Mm-hmm.
If you get that first gig, try not to be annoying.
Yeah.
That's difficult for some times. Me,
Because you love it so much,
and
right?
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So really try to tamper down how excited you are, because it's showing.
Model it up.
Even when you're bottling it up, it's showing. Probably it is.
Yep.
And be professional. Show up, and seem like you're in tune to the scene. Don't copy everyone.
Yeah. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find what you love about music, gather it up, and try to present to people.
Yeah.
That's. But yeah, being professional. Don't be too aggressive with your ambition.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it right, slowly, you're going to see that progress.
Yep.
But if you rush it, you're going to turn off people. This and that. It's going to probably happen.
Yeah.
It's not. There's no reason to rush it. If it's something you really love, let it keep developing.
Yeah.
It's going to do it at its own level, and that's the best way to be successful. I think is, let that flower unfold of your music creativity, and you can't lose.
I love that, man. I love that. And so you got some things coming the rest of this year. You mentioned some Hush concerts. I mean, can you reveal any festival appearances from yourself?
Yeah.
What do we got?
So we mentioned the next two Groove Cruises I'll be on.
Yep.
This next Lesher Forest, you can probably be looking out for me in a place where you see people with headphones that light up.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, so I'll probably be there.
Yeah.
Then we have Taste of Chicago in July.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as gigs in Chicago, you know how it goes. It's so rare that I'm booked outside of 2 weeks. It's like,
It's
hey,
short-term here.
it's like, hey, next Thursday, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You want to play?
Yeah.
And then the answer is yes, of course. For humans, sure, I'm in.
Well,
I'll play music.
We can definitely find you DJing. That's for sure, man. Well, again, I want to acknowledge you, Adam. I mean, it's really pretty powerful what you do, and I got a lot of respect for you and the hustle you do. I mean, you work hard.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So, shout out to you, brother.
Thank you,
All
man.
right?
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, man.
That was awesome.
Thanks so much.